but some of them I actually enjoy watching. Is that bad? Is that weird? That's weird. Hey guys, so for today's video, I'm doing a little bit of a Q&A. And if you're wondering, we didn't see any posts or anything like that about a Q&A. That's because I did a little bit of a twist on the Q&A. So I actually got this as an inspiration from Connor Franta when he did an honest Q&A where he had his mom ask him 5 questions and he had to answer them honestly. So I did the same thing, but I asked 2 of my cousins and 2 of my friends to send in 5 questions, and I would answer all of them. So there are quite a few questions, so I'm just gonna go ahead and jump right in. So the first one is from my cousin Elizabeth, and for the first question she said, 1 word to describe your year and why, talking about 2017. For 2017, I would have to say, I know this isn't an adjective, but I'd have to say hustle, just because in the middle of the year, I created this phrase called work hard, hustle harder. Like, everyone can work hard, that means like they're getting stuff done. But if you hustle harder, you're putting more heart into your work and more dedication into your work. So I began to hustle harder into a lot of things that I did. But when you hustle harder, sometimes life can get a little bit hectic. So yes, you're getting all the things done that you want to get done and accomplish it well, but sometimes you are trying to figure out how to balance things in life, and it did get a little bit hectic. What is something, place, smell, thing that instantly takes you back to a memory? There is the smell in the house that I live in. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's my grandma's perfume or my grandpa's cologne. But before we had renovations done to our house, it's how the house smelled. And I don't really smell that smell anymore, but when I do smell it, it just brings me back to my childhood and memories of when I was younger with my grandparents, and when I first moved out to California. I have no idea what the smell is, and I can't even describe it, but it's just like this very homey smell. How would your friends describe you, and how would it differ from how you describe yourself? My friends describe me as bubbly, giggly, brave, and sassy and sarcastic. I describe myself as sassy and sarcastic. Oh, they also say kind. I'm a kind person. And yeah, I would say I am kind. What differs from what my friends say, I would also say go-getter. I'm not afraid to do what it takes to get the job done. What made you cry last? Okay, when the cast of The Greatest Showman was trying to get the green light to create the movie, they had to sing the songs and read the script and all that in front of the people who would say, yes, make this movie. And so when they did, then when they sang the song This Is Me in front of them, in front of the panel, the girl who sang it was so emotional and it was so powerful. Everyone was crying. Hugh Jackman was crying, she was crying, the cast was crying, and it was just such a beautiful and sweet moment. I will link the video below because you need to see this, and it made me cry because it's just so beautiful and the song is so powerful. Favorite guilty pleasure? Okay, I cannot believe I'm telling you this, but sometimes I like to see if I'm able to handle a lot of the little kids shows that I watched when I was little, such as like Mr. Rogers, Sesame Street, basically all the childhood shows, and I like to see if I can handle it or not. Some of the shows I can, and some of them I just cannot watch it at all. The next questions are from my cousin Sharon, and she said, what is your major and why did you pick it? So I'm actually studying to have a bachelor's in psychology, minoring in theater, then later to get my master's in occupational therapy, and I want to have an emphasis in brain trauma. And a lot of people who know me knew that I wanted to be a full-blown Broadway actress, wanted to go to Broadway, be in The Lion King, be in Wicked, which I still would love to do. I would still love to be in a Broadway show. That's still a dream of mine. But the reason why I chose occupational therapy was because in 2015, after my hospital stay and when I was recovering and when I experienced my ammonia levels elevating and how it affects my brain, and then having PTSD and anxiety, I did a whole video on this, so I'll link it so you guys can go watch that. But when I was recovering from that, I was taking a psychology class and I was studying why my brain was affected by the ammonia levels and how people's brains react to certain things. And then I just became really fascinated with the brain, and then I came across occupational therapy and realized that that was such an amazing career, and I wanted to be a part of it, and I wanted to help people who had had similar experiences or recovering from strokes and such. It's a career that I'm really excited about and I'm really fascinated with. If you could pick someone to spend 1 hour with, who would it be? And then the third question is, and why? I would say, at this moment, I would have to say my cousin Elizabeth, whose questions I just read. We weren't really close growing up mostly because of the age gap and then family stuff. And as I've gotten older, like, we've started to talk a little bit more, and she's honestly such a cool person and such a cool cousin that I just love to spend more time with her and hang out with her. So Elizabeth, we need to hang out. How did you get interested in drama and musicals? Well, my parents enrolled me in ballet and theater and all these type things, mostly because it was good lung exercise for me, because with cystic fibrosis, the more you use your lungs, the better it helps you your overall health. But I didn't realize that at the time. I thought I was just doing it because my best friend was doing it, which was a bonus. But I just thought it was something fun to do. But it wasn't until, I think it was either 2004 or 2005, I saw the tour of The Lion King at the Buell Theater in Denver, Colorado. And that was my first Broadway show I'd ever seen. I'd seen other musicals, but this was like the first professional Broadway show I'd ever seen. And it was just so magical. And when I realized that you could do this as a career, I was just like, oh my gosh, I want to do that. I want to be a Broadway actress. I want to be on that stage as Nala one day, which is still a dream of mine. Where would you like to travel to and visit that you haven't been to before, and why? I want to travel the world. And I'm not kidding when I say that. There's so many places I want to go to. I want to go to Australia, I want to go to China. I really want to go to China and Japan. I'm fascinated with the culture, and that is my favorite cuisine, and I would just love to go there. I want to go to the UK, I want to go to the Caribbean, I want to go to a lot of places that have the ocean. I want to go to Africa, I want to go to, I do want to go to Alaska so I can see the Northern Lights. I really want to see the Northern Lights. Oh, I want to go to Germany. Okay, I want to go all over. The next questions are from my friend Shay. What are your goals in life? Well, I mean, I could say, like, I want to be an occupational therapist and help people. I want to be a motivational speaker. I want to be an actress. I mean, I could say all those things, and those are things I want to do. But at the end of the day, my goal in life is to please God and to have Him use me in ways I never thought were possible, and that what I do is according to His will. That is my honest goal in life. What made you want to start a YouTube account, and who was your inspiration? My inspiration before I began YouTube was Alicia Marie and Bethany Moda, and then I wanted to start a YouTube account in 2014, but I didn't know what I wanted to talk about. And then in 2015 I realized I wanted to talk about cystic fibrosis because I realized how CF can really affect you mentally, and how it is such a serious thing in the CF community, and I wanted to be one of those positive CF channels on YouTube. If you could do one thing in your life over again, what would you do and why? You know, there are several things I look back and wish I hadn't done that, and wish I could have done things differently, but you know, at the end of the day, I've learned that you don't really want to look back and think, dang, I should have done this, or I could have said this, or anything like that, because if you keep looking back in the past, then you won't be able to see what's right in front of you. What are some things that scare you? Snakes and black widows. Oh my goodness. Black widows, because I read this Nancy Drew book when I was younger called Secret in the Attic, I think, and oh my gosh, there were so many black widows in that book, and it just traumatized me, and I really don't like black widows, and I just feel like they'll bite me and I die. Even though I know that's not what will actually happen, it just scares me. And we have black widows at our house, which really doesn't help the situation. Snakes. Okay, when I was younger, I loved snakes. I pet snakes at petting zoos. I got all these books about them when I was younger, and I read them and was fascinated with them. My favorite snake was the milk snake. Is that what it is? It was like it's like an orange and white snake. I think it's a milk snake. I don't know. As I stated in my December vlog, that I love documentaries. So I watched a documentary about snakes, and that traumatized me for life, because I realized that there are deadly snakes out there, because the documentary is called The Deadliest Snakes in the World. Yeah. What place makes you feel at peace? The ocean. Always the ocean. Now, the last set of questions are from my friend Jim. And these are very short, to the point, so I can answer them quickly. What country would you most like to visit? I already answered this with Sharon's questions, but I want to travel the world. What's your favorite breakfast food? Okay, I do like pancakes and I do like waffles, but the breakfast food, it's not a breakfast food actually. The one thing that I get really, really excited about, like when I know I can eat it for breakfast, is cold pizza. I love cold pizza for breakfast. That's like the best thing ever. Would you rather go to a formal ball or a club? Formal ball for sure. Pizza or Chinese? Chinese. I mean, even though I said I like cold pizza, Chinese is my favorite cuisine. What exotic animal would be a fun pet to have? Pandas. Pandas are my favorite animals. But that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun answering these questions. And if you want me to do a video like this in the future, comment below. Also comment more questions, like 5 questions that I have to answer honestly. Comment those below and I will answer those. But don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, turn on that notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new video. Follow any of my social media and check out last week's video, and I'll see you guys next Monday. Bye.